All right, folks, welcome on back here this Wednesday afternoon, August 25th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome on back here, of course, for our afternoon meeting. Great to see all of us live inside the Cyber Group room. Bob, Bonnie, George, got John, Kathleen, Stephen, Tom, Doyle, Michael, and all of us otherwise live inside the trading room. If you're joining us on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube, welcome on back. If you hear me talking fast, I apologize. I need to. We have class coming up later on today, folks. Phase 2, Lesson 4, finishing up the Phase 2 curriculum for the month of August. But, it's practically a mini Phase 3 class. Next week, Fausto takes over, and it's his turn to, teach and more so of the advanced Phase 3 live trading class. But, it's to pretty much gear you folks up for it, for all of our silver, gold, platinum, diamond students. I look forward to seeing you folks there. I know I took a small head count before I started the meeting. I know a bunch of us live inside the trading room will be joining me. So, I look forward to it, but let's get right to it here. JFIN here right now pushing up higher heading into the afternoon, seemingly building up another Fausto flag, popped over 5, but then built up a nice Fausto flag as it was testing 520, ended up popping from that point. You can see it on the 5-minute chart here. So it's building up, 520, and then with the lows squeezing up, it broke textbook Fausto flag from that point. To a fair degree, it's just building up pretty nicely here, up towards the high, practically off 550, 545 is your HOD, but I would assume for there to be an order on the ask. So right away, hey, I'm going to be putting this on our watch list heading into the afternoon, and if you're joining me in class, pretty damn good chance I'll be following this. All right, so I will tell you actually in the morning, I got to make sure I get through things quick here. But in the morning on this stock, and I just say it here because, I say it all the time, for a stock that actually is shortable like JFIN that's up big, if it does crap out the other way, if it does go, the other way and pull back, break below support, that could be a really good opportunity to catch on the way down. I ended up taking an 8-cent loss from 5. I thought it was going to re-break and run here. It popped and dropped, and then it almost hit me like right then and there for the first time. I was like, holy crap, this thing's shortable. And it was just perfect timing of the day, just given the fact that, hey, you know what, I'm going to take the trade. I'll reverse it at least and see if I can get it on the way down. I ended up doing so. It was a fortunate exit and ended up saving my morning for the most part. But it goes to say that the same thing could happen here. So just be mindful of both ways here. For right now, obviously, seemingly pushing up really nicely up to the 550. All right, so what we'll do is go from top to bottom now. Otherwise, the RGC trade up, like God knows how much percent now. Geez, 250% close to, popping up over 50 right now. We do happen to see this type of stock, not to say every day. Maybe once a week, perhaps, if not a couple times a month. The BPTH stock, really quick, it just reminds me of this because if you take a look back in 2019 or 2018, we talked about it just, a day or two ago. This stock made like a 5-day rally from like 265, 270, all the way up to 73. So, we do see these stocks happen to, pop and make these extreme runs up at some points. But, after a certain point in time, it becomes just, straight up untradeable. So, for right now, unless if you're really just trying to gamble, I would stay away from this trade. If you're in from earlier holding on, first and foremost, congratulations. You're probably sitting on a nice sum of money, sum of money right there. Don't spend it all in one place. But for the meantime here, otherwise, I don't know. For as much as this goes up, it's going to come back down, and the comeback down is going to be really ugly. All right, so you got the LWAC stock here. This was pretty interesting because it's a new, I believe it, at least it is, one of those special purpose acquisitions. Had the warrants, Class U stock on here, I guess, but it's not like really doing much for right now. ADTX from the morning. This one did a lot for us today. It really didn't pop up until like 9:17, 9:20 Eastern, practically as Fausto finished up the morning meeting, right? So, ended up making this big pop prior to the market opening up. And then at first, after the open, ended up coiling up, consolidated, pulled back for the most part, you could just say. But thankfully from that point, ended up providing us a lot more. Ended up breaking over 3, ran up towards just about like 3.95, $4 for the most part. For right now, it seems like it's trying to make that second win type of move. I always like to call out here, see a stock pump up as much as this did. Trading 143 plus million shares right now. I don't know how much volume the stock trades day to day. Oof, Jesus. All right, take a look at this. You want to know something pretty interesting here? The volume average indicator I have here is on a 50-day, 50 bar count, rolling 50-day average. So it shows it at like 3 million shares. Prior to today's trading, that number in yellow was set at 230,000. It was trading 230,000 shares on average the prior 50 days prior to today. So right now, this stock, I would just say, is exhausted. I don't know. I would rather not follow this for right now. If it ends up popping back over 350 really quickly or really nicely, then maybe I'll reconsider. TKAT from today, I don't think I'll follow this right now either for the afternoon, but ended up making a really nice rally from yesterday. We were very hopeful to see this pop and run in the afternoon. Ended up, unfortunately, popping over 8. I took an 8-cent loss on this trade. Ended up popping up quick, pulled back, ended up jumping out. I forgot the exact price, but it was like 7-8 cents. Worth the trade, but I said it in the morning class that I taught earlier today for all of our students. When we call out stocks, we're calling out stocks based off a very significant volume-based level. Well, when we see a big volume level break, we're going to get a very big move very shortly after. So it's to say that, if you hold on, well, I'll tell you, you're going to get a really big move. That's for sure. And listen, we're not trying to swing trade our call outs. All of our call outs, myself and Fausto's, at least 90% of Fausto's and 100% of mine are day trade call outs. So, for the most part, we're not intending on you folks to holding on to this stock. Granted, I guess that could have worked out today. And if you did, God bless. But once it rebroke over 8 here today, this morning after 10:30, when we were in class, unfortunately, this is when it first started popping, but ended up making a really nice push from 8 upwards towards 1250. Right now, the stock, I would say the same thing with this, pretty exhausted right now. It's making kind of higher lows and, coiling up here. Maybe I'll come back to it at the very end if I need to. All right, so we keep it going. I got triple U, triple H, triple G, triple U. Triple U. Not doing a whole lot right now, though. Triple U. All right, so we keep it going. VRPX, former runner, actually a couple here going down the gainer side. Former runners, meaning stocks that we called out in the past that made these spectacular, pops and rallies, like BPTH a couple years back. Then, that ended up failing last week, but or earlier this week, perhaps I should say. But granted, VRPX from last week ended up popping from like $5 or $6, ended up running all the way up over 35. What goes up does come back down. So ended up dumping back down, gap down much lower. Again, goes to show that our callouts are not, swing trade callouts, unless Fausto tells you in the morning meeting, right? Like he'll be the first to tell you if he's, holding on to something for a period of time. But this is not the type of stock to do that on. Perhaps we'll see it make another run back up at some point in time as it popped here today. But I mean like a better run, a more volume-based run that we can try and trade here in the room. I don't know if this was even called out from the morning here today, the VRPX. Popped nicely today from 15 up to 18. So, if you caught it, congratulations. If not, it's a short-lived run. All right, so we'll see what else we got. ADAP, also a former runner, cheapy at least here for right now. Stock ended up moving up nicely from 450 up to over 515. Volume died off, though, for right now. I mean, volume breakout here where it ended up, I guess, I don't know if that was a market institution print, dark pool print, if it was just an order on the bid, limit order that got filled. But either way, it's done jack since. So right now, it's not worth our time. What's worth our time, folks, is the stock I left off class with. I told you folks, at least, as we finished off class, that, hey, who knows? There could be a great chance that we'll follow this SRPT or SPRT trade heading into the afternoon, so long as it could build up support, break over a big level. So right now, it's actually doing just that. I don't have it on the screen. I have it on my main trading platform, which I'll show you folks coming up in the classroom, that is. But, right off 1327, the opening bell print on this trade, finally making a bigger move above it for right now, but we'll see if this can stick. I'll put it on the list for the meantime. JFIN looks stronger in its trend for right now. This is more volatile, at least, and if this continues going, there was a case to see 15 earlier today, and from what we saw SPRT do yesterday, if it wasn't yesterday, maybe it was the day before, but yesterday, the day before, the stock ended up making this huge rally going into the afternoon. So it can make a very fast move or a big move very, very, very quickly. Oh, doing just that right now. There we go. Good start. We're talking about it in the trading room, folks. I was calling it out right off 1327. If you were in the room earlier before we started the meeting, that was the call. All right, we keep it going for right now. I'm going to try and contain my emotions if this takes off. I'm in it. So for right now, DVAX, we'll make this quick. But for right now, DVAX ended up making a nice push from earlier today, pulling back right now. I mean, seemingly tradable. You know, wouldn't hurt us to put it on the list. Wouldn't hurt us to keep it off the list for right now. All right, the IHT trade. Eesh, this thing's not doing much. All right, we'll hop over to the losers list. Market watch here right now. We got the S&P at 4,500. The SPY is on the way up to 450. So, you know, a couple of big historical levels that we'd like to keep our eyes on. JWN got crushed that much, huh? Off earnings. Ended up dropping as soon as the market opened up off 32.50. Bottomed out right around, I don't know what that is, maybe like a little under 31. Drag my chart over 30.84 low of the day. I can tell on the top of my chart there. Nonetheless, though, either way, coming back down pretty nicely. You know, nice trend. Ends up closing out half my position on the SPRT. For right now, at least the JWN, nice tradable stock coming off news, trending down, shortable. Good liquidity. Checks all the bells for me. All right, cool. Really quickly, folks, I know a couple of us on social media, Facebook Live, YouTube, you folks, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I tend to talk about Bitcoin Cardano nowadays at the end. We are skipping it today. I apologize, but we got class coming up later on, and I want to make sure that all of our students here that are joining me have enough time to prep themselves. Take that class very seriously here this afternoon. Take every class seriously, but this one's probably the most intense class that we have, you know, between phases 1 and 2 before you graduate, so to say, and move on to phase 3. Right now, Tal doing nothing. The Got You stock, both of those trades actually got you more than Tal, but both pretty short, very shorted, highly shorted stocks, I should say. I don't know why that came out wrong, but high short interest on both of those stocks. Express, I can't believe, you know, this stock dropped off as much as it did after the open. It was trending down beautifully, so the drop off is not surprising, but you know, it was a just dart all the way down towards practically like, was that 630, 625 even perhaps, you know, ended up making a big drop. But yeah, for right now, you know, kind of flat for the meantime. 636 low of the day. You can tell there. All right, I'll tell you what. Otherwise, folks, I think that just about wraps it up. What is this, AED or AEO? Is that American Eagle? American Eagle. Yeah. Not much going on really there. All right, folks, let me know if there's anything up, down, left, right, more than 5%, anything that you would want me to check out. Unfortunately, again, no crypto here today, as much as I like to talk about it. JFIN tanked, says Deb. Uh-oh, that's not good. Well, actually, it could be good. It could be good. Stock is shortable. It's not hard to borrow. So, you know, I ended up taking this earlier. It saved my morning on the short, actually, from 5. Perhaps this could be a nice drop. Looks like some selling came in just on the last bar. $5.35. Nah, that was from earlier, actually. That wasn't the last bar. 5, it would have to be like 523, 522-ish. See if it makes an over and under from there, or at least, you know, hits the last little dip point here. All right, we'll keep it on our list either way. It's, you know, very tradable. Just if you're looking for the move up, clearly that's not too good. If you're not in the trade yet, and if you're thinking it can move up, well, perhaps that could be your chance. You know, look for a higher low to build, perhaps. But you know, with the selling that came in, you know, if it doesn't get back up soon, pretty quick, I'd say it'd be more on the way down heading into the afternoon. From Mitch, welcome back, Mitch Connor on YouTube. SGOC, yeah, this thing I guess was pushing up as we were going from top to bottom. SGOC, former runner, also, you know, SGOC made a big pop for us going back. Was it then? I mean, here too, but more so going back into the beginning of July. Stock pop from like 4 all the way up towards almost 30, came back down. So again, we see these stocks happen to move all the time. I mean, right now, SGOC making just a fraction of that type of push. It's great to see. So I guess we'll follow it for right now. We don't really have too many stocks to put on the main list. Then from P Trader, Clove holds up nicely today. Yeah, it didn't really drop off as much as Express did, at least. Let me take a look at AMC. AMC coiling up, making these lower highs, like this big pennant practically for the most part. That is a huge pennant. You can just see that on the 5-minute chart even better, where the highs and lows are squeezing in. Oh man, this thing's making a big move very soon. But yeah, I mean, it's just to say that that's a good observation, P Trader. Clove holding up pretty strongly in relation to all the other meme stocks that we had on our list yesterday. All right, I'll tell you what, folks. I'm going to check Benzinga Pro, but I'll call it from right there. SENS, I guess, at the high of the day. That's all I got. And check out former runner, I guess, here too. SENS. It's not SENS. There we go. Little volume spike. That's interesting. I see a lot more though after. So I don't know if it's just going to come back down or coil up and do nothing. For right now, we'll pass on it. All right, folks, that's pretty much it. That's all I got. Let me know if there's anything else that you folks see on YouTube or Facebook Live. But I think we're good to go. Norman here I see in the trading room. DATS, DATS. That has been a former move for us over the last couple of days. It's not really doing a whole lot right now, Norm. Not a whole lot happening there. From Tom, I'm sorry, I'm going from bottom to top. So from Tom B in the trading room, he had originally called out PBTS. This thing is not really doing much right now. If you've been watching this stock for the last hour and a half, it's made a 5-cent move. SPRT, granted, now it's a little bit shaky coming off the opening bell print. We got to see that hold as support right around 1327. So the more it does this, to be honest with you, the less likely I think this is going to continue to go up. But, it's to say at least right off of 13 and 1327, it's provided us a nice quick run heading into the beginning of the meeting. I'd rather trade a stock like this than the PBTS. Now, if you're looking for something that's like more, so to say, level one, we don't really have too many level one stocks so far on the main list. JWN's moving slow, a little bit more expensive, but it's not the fastest move out there so far. Kathleen calling out the BOXL trade just at the high of the day. This is also like watching the grass grow. I mean, it's at the highs and pretty significant resistance off 250. So, hey, if the stars align, this can make for a really nice and simple trade, right? But you know what? I'm even going to hold off on this for right now. It just seems like too slow. It doesn't seem like it's going to make some like big grand pop that we're looking for. All right, folks. So that about does it for me here. For all of us on social media, Facebook Live, YouTube, Facebook Live. I appreciate you. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to type my email here as we wrap up. But if you would like to join us live inside our trading room, feel free to do so by going right down to the link on the banner below, just to get yourself started for a week-long trial with us. My email address I'll post right here on the live stream, josh@c2trading.com. For all of us live inside the trading room right now, and actually right before I finish up, little update. Little ask and I shall receive, perhaps. Right? What did I just say? What did I say? I said this thing needs to get going right now. If you got to hold support at 1327, gotta go. We're going, folks. All right. So, for all of us live inside the trading room, I look forward to seeing most of us actually coming up in the classroom later on today at 3 o'clock Eastern. Take care.